One thing that I think is awesome is they labeled your first, second, and third axis screws. So if you're somebody who's setting this height up on your own, you know exactly where the screws are at because they're labeled and how to adjust them. So that's awesome. I'm glad that they actually labeled them, and it's going to make that a lot easier for the user, especially if you're the one setting up this site. You got your first axis adjustment, second axis, which is screws on both sides, screws on each side so you can adjust your second, micro adjust it. Right here you can see you have your third axis adjustment, and then you're going to lock this down, which is just going to help the site from moving on you. So you should not have any problems with the site moving on you. I'll show you how to install this dialed Pruf site and how to level it. You'll need a 5/32 Allen wrench to get it set onto the pick mount. So there's two different slots. I personally like going on the bottom one. That just helps me get the most range out of the site. Alright, it's mounted on there and solid. Now I'm just going to go ahead and level my string up. Level got a little glue on there, but it is level. You can see our scope housing is off a ways. And I'll go ahead and throw one on the rail. Alright, so the rail is matching the site, so we will see if they match each other. So if you look at your site, it's going to have the first on each side, so that's going to adjust your first axis. So I'm going to start there and adjust it. Loosen this side up because I need to twist it. So I loosened the right side up if you're looking at the bow. And I am going to tighten up the left side. So you just have to loosen up and tighten till you get it exactly where you want it. So the first axis is set. Make sure you tighten up each side so it's locked in place and none of those screws will come loose. Now to adjust the second axis, you're going to tighten and loosen each side of this and then tighten them both up to make sure you're good. You loosen the bottom screw here that's slotted so that way you can adjust it. Then go ahead and tighten this up once you're set. The rail is still perfectly level, and the scope is perfectly level to the rail now. There is one screw here for the third axis adjustment. Go ahead and make that adjustment. It's really hard to find a perfect level spot. I've got my level on the string here. I've got a level right here on the riser, which is pretty close. It's off just a little bit, but I highly recommend you shoot in your third axis anyway. So I'm going to go ahead and tip the bow and check it. So I've got the level pretty much exactly how it was when it was upright, vertical, in the same position here. And it is dang close still. So I'm going to leave my third axis the exact same way it was, but you would just adjust this screw, the third axis screw, in and out to get your third axis adjusted perfectly to your bow. So what that is going to do, it's going to move your sight in or out, and it's just going to make sure that when you're shooting up or downhill that you're not missing to the left or right. The best way to shoot it in is to set a target uphill and downhill, make a perfectly level line, and shoot that line and see if you're consistently missing to the right or left. And that'll tell you, especially at extreme angles, it's going to make a lot bigger of a difference. But this is really close right out of the box, so you maybe might not have to even adjust it. I would still definitely try to at least shoot up and downhill and see if you're consistently missing left or right. It says right on here the third axis adjustment, so just move that screw in and out and see if that helps you. The sight's really easy to set up. I really like that everything's pretty micro adjust, just in and out, making sure that tighten one side, loosen the other side, and make sure they are both tight so they're not going to fall out on you. Easy to set up. I'm out here today. I'm finally sighting in my third axis, and I'm going to show you the proper way to do it. So you're going to shoot downhill at a pretty extreme angle and also back uphill at an extreme angle and see if you're consistently missing to the left or right, and then make an adjustment. So I've got a target down here. I've got a level vertical line on it, and I'm basically just shooting at that line and seeing if I'm consistently missing to the left or right. Right now I have the dialed Pruf sight on. Some sights are a little bit different, but on this one, you have a little third axis screw right here, so you're just going to loosen that, and also loosen this one, and that'll let you adjust the scope housing in or out. And on some of the other sights, it's a half moon, so you tighten and loosen the other one to get it to adjust in and out. So on this one, I've got it all the way pointed away from the bow right now. This is a right-handed bow. I've got it all the way out, and I'm going to shoot downhill. I'm at about a 20-degree angle. The steeper you get and the farther you go out, the more extreme it's going to be. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and shoot downhill at my target here and show you where it goes. So I'm aiming right here at this vertical tape line, the tan one, and you can see both of them shot to the left. So now I'm going to do the exact opposite. I'm going to turn the sight all the way in and show you where that's missing. And then I will try to move it about right to the middle, or where I think it should be, and shoot again, and hopefully I'm hitting this vertical line. Like I said, the more extreme the angle, the farther you're going to miss, and it's going to show it more. But being in the Midwest, this is the best I can do to actually show you how to do it. You can also do it by setting up on a door jamb, but this is going to be the best way to actually do it, is shooting downhill and seeing where you're missing. Go ahead and move it all the way, point it in towards the bow, and show you where that hits. So I go ahead and loosen up the knob here, and then I'm going to loosen up the screw, and now I can just push the scope housing in and out, and I'm going to push it all the way into the bow, tighten that up, So I got the screw tightened back up, and I'm just going to go ahead and lock that back in. And now I will shoot again and show you where that hits. So I'm going to loosen up this knob and then loosen up this bolt that says third axis. You probably won't be able to see it, but there's a tiny little white dot, and I'm going to put that right in the center of the groove. And that is where I'm going to shoot it at now. Shoot it again and show you where it hits. Well, I'm not sure if my camera fell over for that whole thing or not, but so this one I moved just a little bit, so that's why that one's off, but my other two are right in the tape line. I am going to go ahead and shoot uphill now just to check it, but if you're missing consistently one way and it does, and you move your sight and it moves it the other way, then you should be perfect. And then I would just verify by shooting uphill. It's just a lot of work to move your target up and down, and I'm just doing this as a video to show you. Try to keep this as short and simple as possible, and I will go ahead and show you my group shooting uphill now. So you might be wondering, why is your third axis actually important, and what difference does it make if it's actually set right? So if you go on a mountain hunt or like a tack event or something where you're shooting extreme angles, especially at long yardages, you will really see the difference. And if you've ever shot a really steep target that's uphill or downhill, and you're wondering why the heck do you keep missing left or right and you can't figure it out, that is what your third axis is, and it's important to have that set properly or you will not hit in the right spot. And if you get one shot at an animal, I highly recommend you sight in your third axis and have it set before you go on any hunt or any target shoot that you're going to be shooting uphill or downhill. Flatland's not going to matter a whole lot unless if you're a tree stand hunter that likes to be like 30 foot up in the air and you're shooting straight down. So I'm starting to get a little bit shaky, but uphill I was pretty good hitting the tape, and downhill now I'm basically, both of these are touching the tape. I'm going to call that pretty good. I'll shoot another group here just for the fun of it to double check everything, but this one felt really well and I was holding right on the tape. So for about 38 yards, I'm going to call that good. I'm not a professional archer, just the average archer who likes to basically try new things, tinker around with stuff. This is how you set your third axis the proper way. Make sure you shoot up and downhill because it does make a little bit of a difference. And also try to make sure you're consistently holding your bow the same, because if you torque it a little bit different, it will matter. I also forgot to mention, you need to make sure that your bow level is level while you're shooting at this line, because that is going to adjust how your bow is actually leaning too. So make sure you actually hold your bow level where the sight is level while you're shooting to make sure it's hitting in the right spot. Because if it's canted a little bit, it will hit in a different spot than it should be. So I held my level perfectly level, had a good, nice, clean break, and I hit right on that line. So now I am set with my third axis, and I hope this helps you figure out how to sight in your third axis to get it set. There's a lot of videos out there, a lot of better archers that will show you this as well, but I wanted to show you how to get it set on the dialed sight and also just show you how to set your third axis. Thanks for watching. If you found this to be helpful, please subscribe to my channel. It really does help me out, helps me grow to get out there to help more people, and that's what I do these videos for, is to help you and others become better and become better outdoorsmen or better with gear or whatever you're searching for. Thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. Good luck out there and stay hidden.